Hey, so I am making this video to go along with the sheet that I have in my stand store in the description below called What to Ask the Sellers. So there's two important things here. Number one is that you are going to be marketing to off-market properties, and I also have 20 ways to find off-market properties in my stand store as well. So they are both free downloads. Take a look at them. And the reason that you're marketing to off-market properties is because if you are investing, or even if you're a realtor and looking for new listings, off-market is where it's at. I know real estate courses, they all teach FSBOs, expireds, cold calling, open houses, but there are different off-market properties that most realtors don't even target to. I don't know why, but my whole system for the past couple decades in real estate has been to target off-market properties, make an offer to buy them. I can either then resell them quickly for a profit, or I can hold them for my portfolio. So whatever properties I didn't buy, I would list, and that's how I was getting listings. So I am now teaching other people how to do this. I'm actually going to be buying property and using the same system in Georgia, Tennessee, and Florida. I have been doing it in New Jersey and Pennsylvania for the majority of my career. So this is how you are going to do it, and the way that I did it and the way that it's worked for me for my whole career is send a letter, then send a postcard intermittently. 1 month, send a letter, the second month, send a postcard, and then repeat that process. The reason is because some people don't open up mail if they are having problems, if they're behind in their bills, if they are in foreclosure, they are not opening up their mail. So they are not going to open up whatever letter that you send. And some people just throw out postcards because it's so, like, I really feel like the letter is so much more personal and so much more professional, and I can put more information on it. So the letters and postcards that I use are included in my course, but you can create whatever letter and postcard that you want, whatever resonates with you, which goes with your personality. And I really promote being an individual and putting individual information. Like for me, I was in dog rescue for 12 years. So I had a picture of me and my dog on my letters and postcards because it was where I resonated, is how people knew me. It was a part of my branding. So I can show you in my course how I did it, what I wrote, but feel free to make your own. So what I want to talk about today is once you are sending out the letters and postcards, you will be getting calls. And what is great about sending out letters and postcards is you are getting people that are calling asking for help. A lot of times they've already looked at your social media, they've already looked you up, they know who you are, they've watched your videos, they know your voice, so they feel very comfortable. Like a lot of times people are like, oh, this is Sharon, like, great, I'm so glad, because they have watched my videos and seen my socials and heard my voice, and they already feel familiar and comfortable with me. So what I recommend, along with the letters and postcards, is to start making videos, which was very hard when I first started. I've only been making videos for a little bit over a year, and it was very hard when I first started, but in my course, we talk about how to do that too. So I know it's hard to start, but you have to just move forward with it and have people be able to be familiar with you by the time that they call you. So what I like about people calling me is they're much more receptive to talking. They're much more receptive to answering my questions. And it's just a better way to do business than me cold calling, reaching out to people that don't know me, never heard of me. They don't want to have a conversation. They don't want to answer any questions. So this is the way that I've done business, and this is the way that I've been successful. So let's go ahead, and so the download is called What to Ask the Sellers. It's in my stand store. This video is to go along with that, to show you why I ask the questions, why I ask them in the order that I ask, why the questions are important. And that way, a lot of my problem, like when I was new, I was afraid. Like I would literally do marketing, spend money to send out marketing, and be afraid to answer the phone. I was afraid to answer the phone because I didn't know what to say to the sellers. And so I just want to make this very easy for you, so you have a system just like the system that I've used for all this time. So let's go ahead. I'm going to share my screen, and there we go, share. Okay, so let's get rid of this. All right, so here are the appointment questions. I start with a very broad question. And the reason that I do this, it's terrific. When someone calls me, they'll call and they'll say, "Hi, Sharon, I received your postcard and I just got done reviewing your YouTube videos and we have a house that we're interested in selling and I just wanted to see what your offer was." So most of the time, that's what they're going to call and ask. What's your offer? All right, I need to ask questions to be able to get more information and set the appointment to go ahead and either buy or list the house. So I start with, as soon as they're like, "Hi, I received your letter." Sometimes they don't give me a whole lot of information. They're like, "Hey, I received a postcard in the mail. I just wanted to see what this was all about." So I'll go, "Terrific. To get started, why don't you tell me about the house and your situation, and I'll see what I can do to help you." And I ask this because a lot of times they will start talking and answer all of these questions for me. So I don't really have to ask and pull information out of them. They will just tell me the whole situation. They will tell me about the house, about their situation, why they're selling, all of it. So I start there and I try to get as much information that I can to fill in the rest of the blanks. And if not, then these are the questions that I go through. Now, I start with, "What's your name?" I want to build rapport with them and start like on a friendly basis. So I ask them what their name is. They tell me what their name is. And then I start with very easy questions. All right. Now I can get this stuff from public records. Once I find the property address, that's the first question. I need to know what that is because I need to know where the house is. So I'll ask, "What's the property address?" They'll tell me the property address. Now, all this, I'm asking these questions so I can build rapport with them, demonstrate that I know what I'm talking about and that I'm a real estate expert as we're having a conversation. Like, this is all in a conversational tone. When I first started, I would literally like carry this sheet around with me in my car and my purse. So when I got a phone call, I would know what to ask. But now I have these um memorized. And so I'm able to just ask these questions just off the top of my head. So I'm very conversational with this. And I'll just say, "What's the square footage of your house? How many beds and baths? Is there a basement? Is it finished? Is there a garage? Are there any repairs? Age of roof, age of HVAC and water heater? And is it public or sewer or well and septic?" So I ask these because they're easy questions to answer. They are non-intrusive. People usually want to give me this information and it prepares me to ask the harder questions, the information that I need to be able to make an offer that are coming up. So I ask these. As I'm asking these, I'm friendly, I'm conversational, I add some input as we go, and they feel comfortable answering these questions. So then I ask, this question tells you a lot about motivation, because working with unmotivated sellers is the biggest waste of time that you will ever experience in real estate. And trying to turn an unmotivated seller into a motivated seller is just spinning your wheels. So you want to know what their motivation is. So I ask, "Why is it that you're selling?" And if they go, "Well, we're just testing the market. We heard that houses are selling, really high. So we figured we'll just price it really high and see what we get." All right. I know that I'm not working with a motivated seller. This could turn out to be a listing, but I know that I'm not going to buy this at a price or at terms that I would need to be able to make a profit. So if they're like, "Oh, I just inherited this house and I'm out of state and I don't want it," or I just bought this house and then I got a job that's in Idaho and I need to be there in 30 days or else I don't get the job. Like, these are motivated sellers. People that are like, I needs repairs, there's water leaking in, I don't have the money to fix it. Things like this. This is what you're looking for. You're looking for people that have motivation in wanting to sell, because otherwise it's just going to be like, it's just such a waste of time to try and work with unmotivated sellers. Um, so the next question I ask is, anyone currently living there leases up when rental payment? The reason that I ask this is because I want to know who is living in the house. Are they living there or is it vacant? If it's vacant, they're going to be much more motivated because they're carrying a vacant house and having the extra insurance that you need for a vacant house, and um, paying sometimes double housing payments if the house is vacant and they're trying to sell it. I want to know if they are living there, because when they're living there, a lot of times it will have a lived-in look. We all live in our houses. So if they have children and pets and things like that, then they are going to need to, showings aren't really as desirable. And so sometimes I'll use that to not list the house and buy and sell it off market, which I explain a lot more in my training course. I don't want to get out of scope on this. This is just about this sheet and how you can go ahead and set the appointment. So I also want to know if there's tenants there, because in our current marketplace, rents have gone up a lot, especially in the past couple of years. So if they haven't raised the rent on their tenant in 3 years, and let's say it's $1,400 a month, and current market rent is $1,850 a month, which is totally normal in this marketplace, tenants are really resistant to, one, the sale of the house. All right. I found that they're like, oh, I'm getting a new landlord. They're selling the house. I don't want it. They don't want to show their units. They kind of make things difficult. Sometimes they won't even have a lease. They certainly won't have my lease and the stipulations that I use when working with tenants or tenant optionees, which is another topic that we'll cover on lease options. But I want to know, is there a tenant living there? Because they're going to be very resistant to you coming in and raising the rent $300 or $400 a month when that is the new market value. So I need to know this information because I'm formulating my offers before I even get there. Like, I know what my offers are, what I'm willing to pay for the house. Walking through the house is really just seeing, is there anything that I didn't know, and building rapport, just walking through the house, because I already know, I've already done all my research before I even go to the appointment. So the next question, and these are the harder questions. And so that's why I asked these beforehand, because they're by now we're having a conversation. They're used to talking to me. They feel more comfortable with answering the questions. And if they give me any pushback on these questions, I'll tell them that I need it to make the offer. Like, I'm not trying to like get into your business or anything like that or be invasive. I just want to be able to make the correct offers for you. So I'll say, is the mortgage up to date? And also, if they're not answering these questions, it also tells you more about their motivation. Like, people that are highly motivated, which is what we're looking for, is people who want help. They are calling you for a prescription. They are calling you for the medicine that you have, and that the majority of other real estate professionals aren't offering. All right. I don't know of any agents that do this. And there are a lot of very savvy investors, of course, across the United States doing this. But in my marketplace, I've done a lot of seller finance, and I don't know a whole lot of other people that are doing seller finance. So this really differentiates yourself by offering multiple offers. And that's why I give 3 offers to every seller. So, in asking these questions, you will see their motivation. Are they motivated? Because they'll be answering the questions. They'll be like, yes, please help. I just really need to get out from under this. They're saying things like that. They're not like, why do you want to know that? And that doesn't matter. Just let me know what you want to offer for the house. That's somebody I just want to get off the phone with. I might be able to turn it into a listing or even refer it if we're not really like jiving. But this will tell you a lot. So is the mortgage up to date? You just need to know, are you going to have to make up the back payments? And if there is a mortgage on the house, is this going to be like something where you're taking over payments, or something where you are creating a note to buy the house on seller finance, which we'll talk more in our seller finance courses? What is the balance? Is it going to be a short sale? Is this house worth more or worth less than the balance? Like, that's an important factor too. What's the monthly payment you are making? So we need to know this to see if we can cash flow on this. So if they are making a monthly payment of $2,200 a month and you can rent this out for $2,800 a month, this is something that you're really going to want to be able to get seller finance on. So I'll talk about the 3 offers that I make at the end of this video. Let me just write that down so I don't forget to tell you. 3 offers. I don't edit any of this, by the way. This is all just, it is what it is, but it's all great information. So and then this was taught to me by my coach, who taught me so much. It's just crazy. But this is where I learned all of this. And this was a question from him, and it was so good. It has treated me so well over my career. Do you want any money for it, or you just want it out of your name? So this will tell you how much you can buy the house for. All right. Sometimes they're like, I just don't want it. It needs repairs. I just need money. Whatever the situation is, I need money for this, this, and that. And I just want it gone. And how soon can we close? All right. So this will tell you a lot about their motivation and what you could buy the house for. Another really good one that I learned is if you got the price you wanted, could you accept payments? So this is going to tell you a lot about their motivation too. I've mentioned motivation a lot on this because it's really imperative that you are working with motivated people. So if they're like, well, maybe, or I don't know, or that sounds like a good idea, or I don't know what that is. You just want to see what they say here because you are going to offer them an option where they will accept payments and it may be irresistible because it's probably going to be a full price, or you can even offer over full price, over market value if they agree to your terms and particularly your monthly payment. So these are the questions that I ask. The three different offers that I make are a cash offer. I make a cash offer on every single property, whether it's a property that needs repairs or not. So even if the property doesn't need repairs, I will make a cash offer at 80% of the value, even if it's beautiful. On properties that need repairs, I can go up to 75% of the value, sometimes even 80% of the value, depending on the marketplace and the other investors that I'm working with that would be buying this property. And then I depending on the repairs, I have to do a repair estimate as well, which we'll talk more in future videos. So I'll make those two offers. If they can't accept those two offers or they won't or they don't like them, then I'll go, what are you going to do to sell your house? And they'll say, well, we're going to go ahead and list it. And I'll go, okay, let's get that started. And I just do like an assumptive sale. I have the paperwork for all three of these offers ready to walk out the door with. So when they decide on these offers right there at the house, I want to have a contract when I leave that house. So if they give me pushback and they're like, I don't know, I want to talk to my attorney, to my parents, to my grandchildren, whatever it may be, I'll say, all right, why don't we go ahead and do this? Why don't we go ahead? We'll sign it for 24 hours. And if you call me and tell me that you don't want to, then we'll go ahead and this will be null and void. So I always try to leave with a signed contract because that just like they have their belief that their house is sold. They are more apt to continue with the transaction. And if people want out of this, I will let them out. I'm not going to force anybody out of their home to sell a house, any of that. It's just easier for me just to move on to another house instead of trying to force a sale. So then I set the appointment. I'm like, okay, so this definitely sounds like a house I would like to buy. Let me go ahead and set an appointment with you. I just want to come over and see it in person. Our meeting will only take about 30 minutes or so. So when could you meet me there? So I set the appointment and then I go see the house. If they're out of state, I will then set up a Zoom meeting with them and have the information, like any contract, ready to DocuSign over to them because we want to have it all like while they're feeling like confident in you and excited about your offer, you want to be able to get whatever, whether it's virtual or in person, you want to be able to get that signed. So then I just get their phone number, email, date and time of appointment. And that is the whole process. So this is how you are going to, if you're a realtor, it's so easy to get listings this way because you have already built rapport with them. You want to make something happen with this. And I've so many people call me and they're like, oh yeah, I talked to some realtors, but we just want to see what you have to offer. Or, they haven't really even thought about it. Sometimes people are kind of like sensitive about the condition of their house and they're like, oh, well, we didn't think that anybody would want to list this. Like people literally think that. So if you can just differentiate yourself as somebody that's a little bit different, a lot different actually, than everybody else that's out there, then they're going to trust you. They are going to be you're going to be their girl. So, or guy. So, this is how I do this. And I just wanted to make sure that people knew, like, I think that was one of my biggest blocks, what to ask the sellers, like what to say. What do I say when they call? I'm terrified. I don't know what to say. So this will give you some guidelines. We will talk about specifics in future videos. And if you like this, I will keep doing this, like really good content. Just like this, subscribe, comment, just make a big deal out of it. And I will keep putting these out there. So I have a training program, which is more of like guidance because it's also mindset as well, that I'm going to be releasing modules on over the next month. And I would love for you to work with me either one-on-one, or I'm trying to keep the modules like as affordable as possible because I want this to be available to everybody. Like even people who are just like, I'm a new agent, I don't know what to do, nobody's talking to me. There's already so many agents in my marketplace. There's just not enough business, which is the truth around most of the nation. So, anyway, this information I am making available to you for free. And so hopefully this will help some people, and the people that can will buy my training program. So, which goes much more in depth about all of this. This is really just scratching the surface, and, just to give help for anybody that needs it, that is kind of struggling and wants to be able to serve the public at the highest level by offering them multiple solutions. So let me stop sharing this, and that's it. So the stand store is in the description below. Subscribing and liking and commenting will help this get out to more people. This is good for people that are nationwide, investors and agents. And thank you for being a part of this with me. I'm happy that you're here, and more to come. Thanks.